China-Russia military cooperation appears to be deepening again ahead of another high-level Putin-Xi engagement, with both sides continuing to stress closer strategic ties. Russia and China are also linked to the joint development of a next-generation heavy helicopter, a project rooted in earlier bilateral contracts and long-running defense industrial cooperation. Not just bomber upgrades. Putin appears to be looking at broader air power modernization as Russia tries to preserve strategic reach and aviation strength amid wider rivalry with NATO. Russia and its ally China are reportedly working together on a next-generation heavy helicopter project. The new helicopter is expected to carry a payload of around 14 to 16 tons, making it heavier than the Mi-171's reported 10 to 12 tons. At the same time, the aircraft would still be lighter than the Mi-26, which has a payload capacity of about 20 tons, Sputnik reported on May 18. Victor Kladuv said, and I quote, "It will be a sensation when this jointly developed new helicopter enters the market. This is not just cooperation but full joint development and future joint production of a highly in-demand machine." Unquote. According to Sputnik, China's Avicopter is leading the design work while Russia's Rostec is developing key components for the program. That means Russia's role in the project would center on supplying critical systems such as the gearbox and transmission. Reports say the project has already passed a state audit in China and is now moving closer toward joint production. The helicopter is being developed with China's high-altitude operational needs in mind, especially for regions such as Tibet. China is seen as needing stronger heavy-lift aviation capability, and the new helicopter could become an important asset in that effort. The development was reported just ahead of Putin's scheduled China visit on May the 19th and 20th. Russia is reportedly pushing ahead with a major modernization drive for its existing long-range strategic bomber fleet. The upgrades to its aging bomber force are seen as a stopgap move while Russia waits for its next-generation PAC-DA stealth bomber. The Tu-160M is increasingly being positioned as a bridge platform meant to keep Russia's strategic aviation arm relevant for years ahead. According to reports, the Tu-160M has received a new navigation suite along with next-generation autopilot technology. A May 16 report by 1945 highlighted Russia's broader effort to upgrade and extend the life of its current bomber fleet. The Tu-160 first entered service during the Soviet era in the 1980s, and a major modernization program is now underway. Russia is trying to prolong the life of the legacy bomber through upgrades to its avionics, onboard electronics, and weapon systems. The upgraded Tu-160M Blackjack bomber is reported to be armed with up to 6 Kh-55SM ground attack cruise missiles. According to 1945, each Kh-55SM cruise missile can carry a 200 kiloton thermonuclear warhead. Reports say the Tu-160M2 variant is also under development with an upgraded NK-32 engine and new jamming equipment. The Tu-160M2 is also expected to feature a digital cockpit and the NVI-70 radar, according to the same report. Despite these upgrades, reports suggest the Tu-160M still lacks the stealth needed to operate safely in modern high-threat airspace. Like many older bomber designs, the Tu-160M may be more useful in relatively permissive combat environments. Its survivability appears to depend less on avoiding detection and more on launching strikes from long standoff distances. That is why the Blackjack's ability to fire Kh-55SM cruise missiles remains central to its long-range strike role. 1945 also claimed Russia may eventually arm the Tu-160M2 with the Kh-47M2 Kinchal missile. If that happens, the aircraft could evolve into a platform capable of hypersonic or quasi-hypersonic strike missions. Rostec is reportedly aiming to build about 2 new Tu-160M per year, with a fleet goal of 10 aircraft by 2027. Anti-UK rhetoric in Russia appears to be taking a darker nuclear turn as fresh threats aimed at Britain continue to surface. A Kremlin-aligned channel reportedly claimed that Putin's Satan II missile could destroy Downing Street. The Express reported on May 13 about the alleged threat directed at the British Prime Minister's residence. The threat came after Russia's reported successful launch of a 208-ton intercontinental missile. On May 12, the Express had also reported on the Satan II missile launch, citing statements linked to the Kremlin. Express citing the Kremlin said, and I quote, "The weapon stands as tall as a 14-story building and delivers a yield 4 times greater than anything produced by the West." Unquote. The latest threat was published by Wojenная Kronika, a channel whose name translates into English as War Chronicles. According to the Express, the accompanying footage purported to show how the missile could obliterate Downing Street. A separate graphic reportedly depicted an Oreshnik missile aimed directly at NATO headquarters, the report said. Another fiercely pro-Kremlin account, Barrel of Black Caviar, also responded to the threat narrative, according to the Express. Barrel of Black Caviar said, and I quote, "Sarmat can destroy the British Prime Minister's residence. And Oreshnik can destroy NATO's residence." Unquote. The reported threat surfaced the same day Putin showcased what was described as his latest weapon system. One Russian Sarmat intercontinental ballistic missile could destroy an entire nation, Russian military analyst Igor Korochenko said in his latest assessment. He claimed that a single Sarmat, armed with more than 10 individually guided nuclear warheads, could theoretically wipe out countries such as France or the United Kingdom. The analyst warned that the missile could be used if Russia judged that its national security or strategic stability was seriously threatened. Korochenko added that the Sarmat can strike targets via both the North and South Poles, complicating early warning and missile defense planning. His remarks were made as he spoke to Russian state media outlet Sputnik, which published his comments on the missile's capabilities. Notably, the Sarmat is designed as a heavy intercontinental ballistic missile specifically for Russia's strategic nuclear forces. Earlier this week, Russia's defense ministry released video showing a test launch of a Sarmat missile from a silo-based site. The official footage showed the initial phases of the intercontinental ballistic missile launch, from ignition to early ascent. Russian President Vladimir Putin received a formal report on the test from senior missile force commanders overseeing the launch. According to Russian reports, Putin then reviewed detailed information about the Sarmat test during a video conference with top defense officials. Putin said that Russia has greatly modernized its nuclear deterrent since the early 2000s, citing new systems introduced over the past 2 decades. He also described the Sarmat as the most powerful missile system currently in the world, highlighting its payload and range. The Russian president claimed that the missile's total warhead power exceeds comparable Western strategic systems by around 4 times.